Hi everyone, welcome back to my kitchen where today I'm going to share with you my recipe for crescent rolls. I showed a video on my other channel, which is Acres of Clay Homestead, and I showed the crescent rolls in part of the video, how the kids had gotten a hold of them while I was outside. And after watching that video, a lot of you left me messages and comments saying you would love to have that recipe. So today I'm going to share with you my recipe for crescent rolls. Alright, so let's get started putting all of the ingredients together one at a time. These are easy and pretty much anybody can do it. They're very, very easy and the dough is easy to work with. So let's get started. For this recipe, you are going to need 1/3 cup of water, 2 1/4 teaspoon of dry active yeast, and then I added just a pinch of sugar to this because we're going to add that to the water and it will proof for about 5 minutes. Also, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1 egg, 1/3 cup of sugar, 1 1/3 cup of whole milk. Mine is raw whole milk, but you can definitely use store-bought pasteurized homogenized whole milk. Some butter, and I think a total of about 3/4 of a cup. So I'm going to need more than 1 stick, but I'll show you it's going to be divided using it in different at different times. And then about 4.5 cups of an all-purpose flour. I like to use unbleached all-purpose flour for this. That's all the ingredients that you'll need for this recipe. I have some warm water here. It's probably between 105 and 110 degrees. And to that I'm going to add the yeast and the little pinch of sugar that I've measured out. I'm going to whisk these together just for a bit. And then we're going to set this aside. And we're going to just let it proof until it's kind of bubbly. The yeast starts getting rehydrated and activated. Once that happens, we will continue on. While the yeast is proofing, I am going to take my milk and put it in a saucepan to warm it up to about 105 to 110 degrees. You don't really want to go over 115 degrees because you can kill your yeast if it gets too hot. And so that's what I'm going to do. This will only take a very short amount of time. If you want to use the microwave, you can do that. I don't know, whatever your settings would be for your microwave. I don't have a microwave, so I don't know how long this would actually take to warm up. But the proofing of the yeast in the water should take about 5 to 10 minutes. The rest of the mixing is going to be done in my KitchenAid stand mixer. It's going to make it just a little easier. You can do this by hand if you want. I'm going to start by using the regular attachment, and then we will switch to using the hook once we start adding the flour in. Okay, so first I'll start with this because we've got to mix it all together, and this does a better job than just using the hook. First we're going to add the proofed yeast mixture. So we're just gonna put that right in my bowl. To the yeast, I'm going to add my warm milk. Okay, so we're just gonna add that right in here. To the warm milk, we are going to add 5 tablespoons of butter. And I'm using salted butter, but if you want to use unsalted, that's fine. It doesn't matter. And this is actually store-bought butter. It is not homemade butter. Now I put the whole piece in there, but what I normally do is cut it up in little squares. This will work fine. The butter is room temperature, so it's very soft. Alright, we're also going to add the 1.5 teaspoons of salt and 1 large egg. And before we start mixing it, we're going to add the 1/3 cup of sugar. And that's just plain white sugar. Put our beater on and turn this on. As this is mixing, I'm gonna start adding about 2 cups of flour. So I'm just gonna slowly add it, and then we'll probably switch out using the hook after about 2 cups. Alright, so that looks good. I'm gonna scrape down the sides, take off my beater, scrape down the sides. Okay. Alright, we're gonna attach the hook now. And I'm gonna just go ahead and put in probably half of the rest of this, because the hook doesn't make a mess like the beater does. And then I'll just add the rest of this. And we're gonna mix this until it's smooth. The dough will still be sticky, but we'll look at it and I'll show you what the dough should look like once it's all mixed together. All right, the dough has been mixing for several minutes, probably about 5 minutes is what I like to let it mix about that long. That way I don't have to knead it or anything. The mixer does it for you. I'm gonna wet my hands. And I find that if you wet your hands, it's easier to work with than adding more flour. If you add more flour, then it will be less sticky and you're not probably going to get the desired result of your crescent roll that you're looking for. These are going to be really yummy, soft crescent rolls. So wetting my hands just keeps it from sticking terribly to my hands. It does stick, but it's worth it. It won't be this sticky after it rises. Okay, so here is what the dough looks like. At the moment, it is sticky dough, okay? So you wanna see it, it is sticky, and my hands are no longer wet, so it is starting to stick to my hands. So I don't wanna work with it any more than I have to. I have a greased bowl where I just put a little bit of oil in here and rubbed it around, and I'm gonna plop that in here. Yeah, like you can see, I probably could use a little bit more flour, but I don't want to add any more flour if I don't have to. So I can deal with a little bit of sticky on my fingers. And then the oil, maybe you could oil your hands too and it would be easier. But the oil, or just turn it around in here and coat all sides with that oil, okay? And then we're gonna cover this with a towel and let it rise until it is doubled in size. Now today is cold outside, so I have my wood stove going, and I'm gonna set it close to the wood stove. That way it won't take quite so long to rise. All right, it has been about an hour and a half since I last showed you this dough. It has rose beautifully, and it just kind of depends on the temperature of your house as to how quick it's going to rise. My stove was warm at the beginning, but then we kind of let the fire die down. So it took a little bit longer than I anticipated, but here we are. Now I have noises in the background that you're gonna have to excuse. My oven's on, and anytime my oven is on, the beeper sounds. I also have my dishwasher running, so yeah, you have to excuse all the noises and hopefully you can hear me. Alright, so now's the time when we're gonna need a little extra flour because we're gonna roll this out. We're gonna take this out of the bowl and divide it into 2 pieces. I have a little bit of flour here I'm placing on the counter. We're gonna roll these out. Roll that right out of the pan or the bowl. Put it up here. Alright, so see how it has really relaxed and it's not nearly as sticky as it was when I first put it in the bowl of oil. So now it is much easier to work with. We're gonna divide the dough into half, so there's 2 equal parts. Roll that in a ball. I'm gonna set one ball aside and we're gonna work with this ball. Add a little bit more flour. You don't need a whole lot, but just to keep it from sticking to the surface. Okay, so we have a ball. We're gonna roll this out into a circle. Depending on how thick you want your rolls, is to how big you want your circles. So I usually do about 12 to 14 inches around, and try to make it as circular as possible. I know that's not always easy to do, but you can eyeball it. So here's my circle. Try to make it as even as possible. And yeah, I know I have a lot of shadowing going on. So here's that, and then we're gonna go ahead and cut this. And I like to use like a pizza cutter for this, and it doesn't hurt my counter, but if you're concerned that it's gonna scratch your counter, you might wanna roll it out on a mat or something, or a board or whatever, but this never hurts my counter. So I just cut it in half, and then I cut it in half again, and I already messed up, so I'm gonna stop here because I forgot the very important step. I'm rushing myself, but I have butter here, and you're gonna need this butter really, really soft because you're gonna spread the butter onto this circle. Okay, just like this. And it just works a whole lot easier if your butter is super soft. Don't have it melted, but just have it really soft so it's easy to spread. Otherwise, you're fighting the dough. So I would say about 2 tablespoons per circle is what you want for your butter. All right, that's good. Now we're gonna finish cutting. And then I'm gonna cut each of the quarters into 3. So we're gonna be making 12 crescent rolls from the first circle of dough. And they're not gonna be perfect, but you can try to make yours perfect. Over here I have a cookie sheet or a jelly roll pan, whatever you want to call these. And I sprayed this with some grease, so I'm gonna set this over here. And this pan should fill up with all of it. It should only make 1 pan. So I'm gonna start from the largest end here and roll them up, just like that. And then some people like to, just like this, and then some people like to curve their ends in a little bit. It's up to you. So do it again, just roll it up. Just like that, and the end, I always put the end on the bottom. I always place the end on the bottom side of the cookie sheet. So, and we're just gonna keep doing this to all 12 of these. This is what the first batch of dough looked like. Now we'll roll out the other circle of dough, and that will finish filling this tray here. And then I'll bring you back and show you what they look like when they're all finished. Okay, so this is what they turned out to look like. Now I'm gonna let these, cover them with a towel and let them sit and rest for another hour or so till they rise again. And then we're gonna put them in a 350-degree oven for about 15 to 19 minutes. Once I take them out, I'm gonna brush them with some more butter. So melted butter brushed over the top. I'll bring you along and show you what it looks like when they're all finished. This is what they come out of the oven like, and then I just have a couple tablespoons of butter that I'm just gonna brush over the top of them. They were in the oven for about 16, 18 minutes, just till they're golden on the top, and yeah, nice and fluffy. As you can see, I had different sizes, so the bigger ones ended up here, and then I guess I went smaller. So obviously I'm not 100% accurate with my cutting skills, but they'll taste just as good whether they're large or small. So thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.
YouTube video?
Yep. All right, so you're right there.